Check, check. God damn it. Damn it. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, everybody. I'm an idiot. Another Monday, another time Tom F's up the monologue. Anyway. All right, I guess we got to redo this. Sorry about that. Okay. Have a sip of coffee and let me redo this bullshit. Damn it. Okay. All right. Another Monday. Another day I screwed everything to hell, right? Welcome to the show. And take two. I've been thinking a lot lately about this notion that nothing seems possible until it happens. It's like this magical, inexplicable force that propels us forward. It's a beautiful thing. Now, before you accuse me of being too optimistic, let me clarify. This isn't some sappy self-help webinar. No, it's a testament to the boundless human potential. We live in a world where so many things seem impossible, especially when we look back at history. Think about it. Once upon a time, people believed that flying like birds, harnessing the power of electricity, even traveling to the moon were the stuff of science fiction. They were the dreams of madmen, laughed off by skeptics, but here we are, comfortably watching this monologue. Thanks to the wonders of flight, the marvels of electricity, the sheer audacity of human imagination. But let's be honest, most of us don't have a crystal ball. We can't predict the future with any certainty. Hell, we can't even predict if our monologue's going to work. Let alone the grand arc of history. But that's a good thing, my friends, because if we could, life would be pretty dull, and it would be a predictable affair. Now, I know some folks are obsessed with predicting the future. You know, the market gurus, fortune tellers, and most political pundits. They claim they have all the answers, but more often than not, they're just shooting in the dark, hoping to hit something. The truth is, they're no more... They are no more clairvoyant than a magic 8-ball. What's truly remarkable is the unpredictability is the mother of invention. When we don't know what the future holds, we're forced to get creative. We stumble, we fail, we tinker, we experiment, and sometimes we strike gold. That's how the impossible becomes possible, through trial, error, and human ingenuity. Look at our smartphones, right? Nobody saw this coming. They weren't the result of some grand plan by a tech genius. No, they were born out of a desire to do something better, something cooler, something more convenient, and voila, suddenly we're walking around with tiny computers in our pockets. So here's the takeaway, folks. Embrace the unpredictability of life. Celebrate the fact that you cannot see the future with perfect clarity. It means that you now have a front row seat to one of the greatest shows on earth, the human adventure. As the saying goes, the best way to predict the future is to create it. So dream big. Don't be afraid to chase those wild, seemingly impossible ideas, because in the end, the most beautiful, incredible things in the world started as nothing more than a crazy notion. And speaking of unpredictability, I got to mention that earlier today, RFK Jr. declared himself an independent candidate for president. Now, whether you agree with his politics or not, you can't deny it's a curveball in the world of American politics. Just goes to show, folks, that sometimes the most unexpected candidates can shake things up in ways we never saw coming. So, as we watch this political drama unfold, let's remember life is full of surprises. Sometimes the most unpredictable events can lead to the most profound changes. Who knows what the future holds? That's the beauty of it all. My name's Tom Coffee. It's a Coffee Nuance Show. It is a censored and commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Ah, oh my God. What a way to start the week. Anyway, I watched this announcement, RFK Jr., right? So he announced his decision to run as a president as an independent candidate, abandoning his bid for the Democratic nomination. He made his announcement outside the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia, criticizing the Democrat Party for stifling his challenge to President Biden and accusing them of abandoning their principles. Running as an independent is going to be a really challenging endeavor, requiring efforts to get him on the ballot in all 50 states. Kennedy, a member of the liberal political dynasty, has alienated family members and some fellow Democrats when they accuse him. They accuse him of promoting conspiracy theories. They accuse him of rejection of scientific consensus. They accuse him of association with far-right political figures. Kennedy's campaign has garnered support from disaffected voters across the political spectrum, particularly those that are skeptical of the government, how they handled the coronavirus pandemic, and, thinking people in general. Anyway, one of the complaints that he has is with the DNC, including the first primary state of New Hampshire, changing it to South Carolina, which favors Biden, and refusing to debate him. Yeah, so that's what was happening. I watched the announcement live. I got to tell you, I'm not good necessarily at predicting the future, but no one else is. And that was kind of the point of my monologue today. We can't predict things. I was hoping that he would run as an established third party. And the reason that I was hoping for that is if we ever want a third party, we need someone to run as a third party that can get a lot of people. The last time that this happened, this was that we had a big candidate that made a really big impact was Ross Perot. Was a billionaire. He ran twice. The first time was a bigger deal. I think he ended up with like 19% of the popular vote. I think that RFK Jr. has that potential. I thought his speech was great about declaring independence. He hit a lot of good points. I don't know that it matters because the way that the coverage of him is in the media. Now, what I will say, one of my predictions is, often you hear in the media that he's more popular with people on the right than on the left. And that may be due to the fact that, generally speaking, if you were a Trump supporter, you realize how much the media lies. You're on to the game. You realize that all they do is lie all the time. And if you're on the left, chances are you still buy the fact that the media is, telling you reality, which it's not. And so I think that people that supported Trump can see the lies that they're promoting about RFK Jr. And the run-of-the-mill Democrat doesn't realize they're being lied to. And so they accept all the BS that they're saying about RFK Jr. But that's just my initial take on it. I would encourage you to watch his announcement speech from Philadelphia this morning. It's not that long. It's not that long a speech. And I think what's going to be really interesting in this case is to see how it is covered in the press, right? So here is yet another time that I invite you, go watch something for yourself, right? Go watch his announcement address, and then see how it's covered in the press, and see what's true. Is it your lying eyes that watch him and listen to what he says, or is it the political pundits that tell you what he said? So that's my invitation to you today. I wish I could feel more optimistic about the RFK Jr. run. I don't know. I'll have to see. I will have to see how this plays out. I was really hoping that he would run as a third party and not as an independent. It is so difficult to run as an independent in this country. They've really stacked the deck, and what this means is that a lot of the money that he raises is going to have to go to getting him on the ballot in all 50 states. It's going to have to go to all these election lawyers and things like that. All of these campaigns to get him on the ballot. And to me, that is those are wasted resources that could be used getting his message out. That's my initial take. So initially, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. I'll let this ride out. I'll let this see how it plays out, how it goes over the coming months. But initially, I don't know. I can't say I'm as optimistic as I'd like to be. But anyway, that's just my take on watching him this morning. Let me know what your initial take is in the comments, and I'll be checking out all your comments in the after show. I got a couple of stories to get to today, not that many, because mainly this morning I was obviously watching the RFK thing, and I didn't realize that I inadvertently hit the mute on my microphone. Yeah. Where did I find the RFK speech? It is on the YouTube channel. I think it's Kennedy 24. It was also broadcast live on X, so you can watch it there. But I will leave a link after I get done with the show today. I'll leave a link to that video so you can check it out. I should have the link put up within 5 minutes of me being done today, so you can check that out, or you can just search for it yourself. It's not too hard to find, but I encourage you to check that out. Anyway, we got a number of stories to get to today. Let's just go right into it. Story number one. Didn't write any jokes about Qatar negotiating. Kind of a tough topic, but Qatar is mediating urgent negotiations to secure the release of Israeli women and children held by a militant group in Gaza. They're negotiating an exchange for 36 Palestinian women and children held in Israeli prisons. While the talks are reportedly progressing positively, there's no agreement on logistics or release yet. Israel has not confirmed these negotiations, and the situation remains complex due to this ongoing conflict and casualties on both sides. Egypt has also involved in diplomatic affairs. Qatar has a history of mediating between Hamas and Israel, but the outcome still remains uncertain. So, so there's, I guess, war in Israel. You're not going to hear my hot takes on that. I will not be sharing my opinion on the conflict over there. All I will say is this. Those people that celebrate the death of innocent people can pound sand, and I find it vile and disgusting. And you're like, oh, which people are you talking about? I'm talking about any people. If you celebrate the murder of innocent people, F you. That's basically it. But I'm not going to get into that conflict more. I will say that one, I don't know that I could even share my opinion, and don't try to guess what it is because you can't. Okay, and two, honestly, I don't know enough about it, and I find it awful when people spout out opinions when they know jack shit about the topic. Okay? Most people talking about this could not find Israel on a map. Absolutely. They could not find it on a map. You could give them a map of the Middle East, and they could not find it. If you don't know where Israel is on a map, just shut the F up, okay? There. But when we talk about Qatar doing these negotiations, you know, one of the things that happened recently that there's been a lot of criticism of Biden is this $6 billion, releasing the $6 billion to Iran for the release of hostages. This was last week, right? Just recently. And it's as if people don't understand incentives. If you release billions of dollars in exchange for hostages, right? Wouldn't the incentive be to take more hostages? Because that's what I said last week. And what do we have today? Lots of hostages were taken in Israel over the weekend, and now Qatar is trying to negotiate an exchange of these hostages. That's what's happened. That's why if you negotiate on things, it does make predictions for the future. If you release Palestinian prisoners, if you kidnap people, right, then what that means is in the future, more people will be kidnapped, right? This isn't rocket science. How dumb are you? You know, this is just crazy. But anyway, those negotiations are going on. I hope that all people are safe. That's my wish. But it's tricky because if you travel internationally and you are an American, right? And we've got this new thing that, hey, you kidnap Americans, right? What you can then negotiate and get stuff for it. Well, that means there's going to be more Americans traveling internationally that are going to be kidnapped and ransomed. That's how incentives work. But it's as if, you know, certain political party just doesn't understand how incentives work at all. I don't know. It's absolutely bizarre. I'm trying to get more positive. So let's go to a totally fun story. Oh man, I had a good joke. I had a joke for this story, and I didn't put it on my... Anyway, Prada is teaming up with Axiom Space to design lunar spacesuits for NASA's Artemis 3 mission, the first crewed moon mission since 1972. Prada will leverage its technical expertise, to create advanced spacesuits, providing comfort and protection for astronauts in the lunar environment. The partnership will also support NASA's exploration of the moon's south pole, including a historical first for, oh my God, women and people of color landing on the moon. Because of course it's 2023. That's what we have to concentrate on. Yeah. But anyway, I think that this is just kind of a fun... I just can't believe it. I think it's kind of a fun story. I don't know what Prada has to do with spacesuits, right? They're just an overpriced Italian brand, right? High fashion, right? But I think that what NASA needs to do is they need to get people interested, right? And they want to get women and people of color interested in things. They want to get them interested in space, right? Because not enough women and people of color are interested in it. So I know women and people of color, they're interested in luxury goods, right? Luxury goods. So let's make a collab, a collaboration of NASA and Prada. I don't know, in many ways it seems really condescending, doesn't it? That's the reason that you're doing it. But I don't know. I find this story very amusing. Very amusing. And you know, I don't know. That's all I got. Anyway, we need some damn good news today, so let's get to the good news. And again, yeah. Good news. Engineers from MIT and China are collaborating on a groundbreaking project to convert seawater into drinking water using solar-powered passive devices inspired by oceanic processes. This innovative system uses sunlight to initiate the purification process, creating a swirling pattern in the water similar to ocean circulation. It causes water to evaporate, leaves salt behind, which is then condensed and collected as pure drinking water. The system is designed to continuously flush out salt, preventing blockages. When scaled to size of a compact suitcase, it can generate 4 to 6 liters of drinking water per hour and operate for several years before maintenance is needed, potentially offering cost-effective drinking water production compared to tap water. So they say that this process is going to be cheaper than tap water. I'll believe it when I see it. I absolutely don't believe it. But this is the big story that's being promoted this week. And I'm sure you'll hear about this story across all the different media sources. They're all going to talk about how they've solved the desalination problem. And it's going to be even cheaper than tap water. Do you believe that? I mean, maybe. Maybe. How's it going to be cheaper than tap water? I don't even see how that's even possible. But this is what science journalism is putting out. And you need to accept all science journalism as being true and real. And so just know that they've solved the water problem for the world. There, it's solved. It's totally solved. So you can now rest assured and get on with solving other problems of the world. Anyway, I guess this was a cynical Monday. I wanted it to be optimistic. I really did want it to be optimistic. Not sure it turned out that way. That happens sometimes. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments. I'll be back on Wednesday with, I guarantee it will be a better produced show than today. I guarantee. Anyway, until then, peace. Thanks for sticking around, sticking through this S show, if you will. What's up, OX_00? I can hear you now. Good, thank you. Again, you know, I've said in the past, I do have a checklist. And I didn't even check to make sure that the mic was going, because the mic is always on. I don't know. But we keep getting those lessons till we learn, and apparently I didn't learn. Yeah. Anyway, over on YouTube, Tom, I'm so glad you start over rather than getting mad and stomping off. You rock. Well, thank you. I did get mad. I tell you, it is something when you're really looking forward to something and you go through and you do the whole thing and then you look up and you're just like, oh, it didn't work. And then it's hard to get back into that same headspace that you had before. But I guess it's good practice. I guess a lot of money is better than no money. Sorry, your leg is messed up, though. Whose leg is messed up? What are we talking about here? Lucid Moment had a doctor's appointment about his leg. Sorry about that. I hope that you can do whatever you need for your leg. Yeah. I like RFK. He's just hard to listen to. Well, I tell you one thing with RFK Jr. I forget specifically what it is that he has, but it is very tough to listen to him. But if you listen to him for about 5 minutes, you get used to it. And then from then on, you can really take in what he's saying. Initially, it's tough, but once you just get used to it, and it doesn't take long, you get used to it, and then you don't even notice it anymore. So that's, just practice. He says great things. He seems to care about America. He certainly does. He certainly does. Good on Qatar. Is the U.S. doing anything? I don't know. I know all of the weapons stocks are up today. I know Northrop Grumman and Lockheed Martin and all that. All their stocks have gone up. So that's probably what the U.S. is doing. We'll probably buy more military equipment there. Yeah, Biden actually called it a day. He called it a day. Here we are. We have like Americans dead and perhaps kidnapped in the Middle East, and he called it a day like at noon. He's done for the day. So yeah, I guess maybe he's having ice cream. Yeah, Americans are going to have a price tag on their heads. That's for sure. Yeah, that's what we need. We actually need more diversity on the moon. Exactly. More diversity on the moon. Playtex made the Apollo series spacesuits. My dad worked on designing them back when I was a twinkle in his eye. Oh, how about that? Playtex. I will have to look into that. Of course, maybe they had some of that fancy technology that they used for some of their other products. I prefer my spacesuit to be made by Gucci. Gucci seems a bit more like it would have to have a print, like an all-over print on the spacesuit. A bit gauche, if you will. So, I don't know. I think Prada can probably do a nice design for that. New Orleans needs the desalination tech now. What New Orleans needs is they need to move. Yeah, those people living in New Orleans, I mean, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when that city will be destroyed by natural disaster. I mean, there's just by design, It's a tinderbox, if you will. Is this the end of Palestine? I don't know. I think Gaza will probably just become a large penal colony at this point. I don't know that there's going to be anything good that comes out of this. The whole thing is very sad. And also look at, this idea that let no disaster go to waste, or something, words to that effect. This event is going to be used for other things. And all those other things are not necessarily going to be good. So I guess that's all I have there. Anyway, yeah, that was the show today. The show is going to be great on Wednesday with a big idea. And that will be the reward for today's crap show. Anyway, I hope to see you on Wednesday. I hope to see you on Wednesday. I'll leave a link to the RFK Jr. speech in the description or in the comments. And I hope you all have a beautiful day. Love you. Bye.